All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy Friday, 7/18, coming to you alive and well and feeling super, super excited. I've shared with you a couple months ago, and that date is coming up very soon. So next week on the 25th, my mom goes in for her surgery on her carotid artery, and my mom is super hopeful. The doctors say that it's going to be a pretty smooth operation. She should be able to leave the hospital in 2 days. And so she's excited that I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna pick her up. I'm going to be there the night before. I'm going to take her to the hospital. I'll be at the hospital all day until she's done with surgery. So, like I said, and I'll say this time and time again, you guys, who is impacted by the result of your success? You see, I got to be there for my mom. I want to be down there for my mom, but I don't want to do it and say, oh my God, how am I going to do it? How am I going to afford to do it? No, I've worked my ass off, so I'm able to be down there with my mom when she needs me the most. And so, you guys send her positive vibes, positive energy. Some of you guys in the past have sent her messages on DM. Her name's Angela Astuto. She loves that stuff. And so, you guys, words of encouragement, positivity for moms. She goes under the knife next week. And then 5 days after, she gets to sit front row and watch me do my keynote at Inman. And I'll tell you what, you guys, that means the world to me. I'm going to pull her in her little wheelchair. She's just going to sit there. She's going to watch me do my thing. And man, I couldn't be more excited, not just for the presentation, but for my mom and the look in her eyes. So I'm really excited. I'm going to go over to Glenn. You're going to be the guy, my man. You just got back from dinner, first top producer dinner, first of many with us. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, my man. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful, amazing Friday morning. So let's roll, big dog.
Thank you. Yeah, so rolling off of dinner last night, one of the things that we always think is that sometimes you see somebody, or I'll see someone and I'll think their success is amazing, or I want that, or I need that, or it comes easy to them. Nothing comes easy to anybody. A lot of people might look at someone and be like, I can do that. If they can do that, I can do that. And I shared last night with Elias and Kenny that in November, I was in the Valley of Despair. November of last year, I was ready to quit. I was looking at jobs. I was on LinkedIn. I was sending out my resume. I was updating it. I was steps away from just saying, this is not for me. And to look at where I was 8 months ago, and to be sitting at a top producer table last night was just so surreal. And know that you can do it, and the first thing you have to do is tell yourself that you can do it and will do it.
Mm. Well, my man, you did it and you earned your spot at that table. And you guys, Kelly, she was there for her first time, and you guys have watched Kelly's journey. She has been to 8 consecutive Hustlers Lunch. She 8 consecutive. She holds the crown for most Hustlers Lunch ever in our organization. And she also was at that table. And so it's not that moment. That's just a quick moment. It is all the hard work that Glenn, that Kelly, that you guys are doing behind the scenes. And that's just a culmination of all of that hard work. So Glenn, really, really good stuff. Congratulations. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, Michael. So let's get right into the conversation. So I did a little bit of a refresh on the slides, so you guys are going to see a little update on the slides and the color. I'm working on, updating the Keep It Moving logo and some things. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this all about you guys today. So I want to encourage you to get your pens, get your piece of paper. I want to encourage you guys to get here, be on camera. Patrick, Morgan, Nathan, Donovan, Mama San, Kia, Angelica, Toots, you know who you are. I want to see your guys' face on this beautiful Friday morning. I got a lot of stuff that I want to share with you guys. And so let's do this. I'm going to go here. And today, what we are going to talk about is we are truly, truly going to talk about your personal branding. And obviously, this is something that I've worked very hard on over the last, 10 years of my life, and more so, more focused in the last 5 years. And then for Keep It Moving, more so in the last 2 years. And so, you guys, this has all been a labor of love. I'm not going to come to you with anything that is theory. I'm going to come to you with what has been market tested. When we sought out to build fast real estate, we took some of the brand tenets from Climb Real Estate. We took some of the fonts and some of the imagery and some of the colors and said, you know what, we want to create a bold statement, something that is identifiable, something that is simple, something that is sleek, and something that really stands out. And so this is the whole hashtag came from, inspired by Kenny for hashtag fast agent, hashtag team fast. I'm like, hashtag keep it moving towards our dreams, goals, and visions. So this has really been evolution, but I want you guys to ask yourself some questions. And before we go into this, there's a quote on the screen here: personal branding, build a brand that walks into the room before you do. And this is something that you guys are all building. This is why you're on social media. This is why you're going to events. This is why you are speaking in circles and speaking on stages and doing your own podcasts. And shout out to you guys. I'm seeing you. Michael Swanson and Samandy on a podcast. Glenn, moderating an event the other day, getting called to do more events. You guys, this is all part of your personal brand. And it's really cool to sit here and watch you guys evolve over our time together. So, let's do this, you guys. I want to break this down into a couple different categories. We're going to talk about brand identity. We're going to talk about values. We're going to talk about visibility. And so I want to go right into the conversation on this beautiful Friday morning. So let's roll. So first and foremost, I want you guys to ask yourself some very, very simple questions about your own personal brand. And listen, if you don't really have a personal brand right now, it's okay. And I don't want you to rush it because you saw something that you thought was cool, or maybe you feel that that's what your personal brand should be. Allow your personal brand to come to you through time. And the best way to do that is to start to analyze what people are saying about your brand, how they're experiencing your brand, what their take was it when they started working with you, so on and so forth. So, first and foremost, I want you guys to ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? Like, what do you want to be known for? And listen, you're not a realtor. Okay, that's something that you do. That is not what we want. I want to be the best realtor. I want to be a top producer. Really? Because there's a lot of top producers in this industry, but what do you really want to be known for? And I'm going to start there. I got a bunch of questions to ask you guys today. Feel free to write this down. I'm also going to provide you a worksheet. I'm also going to provide you color palettes. We're going to go over fonts. We're going to go deep in the woods on this today. But let's just start with this. What do you want to be known for in business? And let's start with this. This is your personal brand. I need somebody, three people actually, to throw their hand up and share what they want to be known for in business. I got one, and I'm not going any further until I get two more. I got two. I need one more person to get involved in this conversation. What do you want to be known for? Wonderful. I love it. I got four. Let's go, Cortez. You were the first hand up, and I see that you've added two new things to your background. It is the Raiders one and the Bulls one, right? Is that new?
Yep, yep,
Okay,
yep. I got to represent. So,
that's right.
I split time from the Bay Area and Chicago in my life, so I'm very connected to both cities. Swanson,
See the
your
chat.
Niners just get your hope up you just had your hope up every year for no reason, Swanson. But
You know,
anyway,
I'm surprised I'm not telling you to put your screen off right now. But anyways, let's go,
yeah,
Cortez. This is a
yeah,
neutral ground.
yeah. Don't get me started. But my personal brand is it came natural, not natural, but as I went. So I want to be known for somebody who cares about the community, and that's knowledgeable, and that you could come and ask me a question. So, like my whole Ask Cortez, that came it just came because that's what I do. I'm here to answer questions, but also like pour back into the community. Like I work with Empower Solano, so I work with the Solano County to help out the community, to educate. So it's like I'm continuing to be an educator. From that, I was asked to speak to kids, high school kids this week. So I was on stage, spoke to about 20, 25 kids and taught them about the real estate industry and just like regular life. So mine is pouring back into my community pretty much.
Okay, Cortez, I love this. And there's going to be additional layers to these questions, but I appreciate that contribution. Let's go Mara, then we'll go Mama San, then we'll go Michael Swanson. Mara, let's go back to the question. I'll put it back on the screen here for you. What do you want to be known for?
I want to be known for being the first person to call when a senior is moving and transitioning out of their homes. My background is with seniors. I want to be known for the kind of a compassionate real estate agent that helps them transition and has the resources that they can trust so that it turns something that's scary and overwhelming into something that's easy and compassionate.
Okay, I really, really like this. And as I'm, just thinking about this, I feel that somewhere in maybe your email signature, maybe on your social, wherever it lies, but I think that this whole people first And then when people say, oh, what does that mean? I want to be the first person in your life to be able to help you transition, to help you plan, and to advocate and educate for you. That's what I do. So in my brand, in my identity, in my core values, it's always people first. Like I really, really like that. I think that there's so much that you can build off of that. So people first, I love what you just said. So really good stuff, Mara. Let's go Mama San, then we'll go Michael, then we'll go Kia. Kia, you got to put your camera on. Let's go Mama San. What do we got?
Good morning, all. So what I want to create is I want to create legacy. I want to leave a lasting impact on folks. I want to plant the seed for future generations, and I want to live with intention and purpose. And so that's legacy to me is what I want to leave behind.
All right. So what you want to be known for is the legacy that you help your family build as well as other people build. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
That's right. Me creating legacy for my family and then other generations, like families and people that I'm working with in real estate, for them to also create legacy with their families.
Okay, solid. I totally connect to that. And I see what you're doing. I see how your family comes together. I see how they look at you as somebody that says, you know what? Look at her. Look what she's building. Look what you're doing for your family. You took your family on vacation last year, and I'm sure that meant the world to you, but I'm sure it meant even more to your mom to be able to go on vacation, to travel with you and be like, it's all right. I got you. I'll take care of the check. I think that's really, really powerful. So I appreciate you sharing. Let's go, Michael Swanson. Same question to you, and then we'll go Kia, then we'll shift gears in the conversation. Let's roll. Thank you.
So I think I want to be known for just, a great source of information. I want to be known, just be a helping hand, whether that's consumers, helping consumers figure out how to buy and sell, or helping other agents figure out how to find their niche and find their groove on social media and how to build their brand and marketing. I just want to be, I want to help be helpful. I want to be helpful in every way that I can.
I love this. I love this. And I believe that you are, and you're doing things in a very, very big way. When I think about what we do for our consumers, like I want to be, the great emancipator of the dream, right? I want to be the great emancipator of the dream. I want to help people see something in their life that maybe they never saw themselves. And I want to help bring that to light. So Michael, I appreciate that, man. Let's go Kia. And then Otis, you'll be the last contribution on just this one. Cause like I said, I got a lot of stuff prepared for you guys today. Let's go Kia. Good to see you.
Hi. So I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. I just want to be known for somebody who could get it done. So I got my hands in a whole lot of stuff, and I need people to understand and know this, that once I get my hands in it, it's all about my passion, and I'm gonna get it done. So that's it.
Okay. Okay. Hey, listen, that's it. That's all we need to hear, right? I'm just the person that gets things done, no matter what storm, no matter what I'm up against, I'm going
Right.
to get it done, right? And like we
Yep.
carry the burdens for our consumers. You see, a consumer is looking to you to lead them and to educate them and to lift the heavy burden and the weight and the emotional stress that this transaction is going to put them under. I'll shoulder that. I'll burden that. Let me lead the charge. And you know what, Kia, having that type of vibe and energy, it is so powerful with your consumers and with your friends and family. So Kia, absolutely love that. Let's go Otis. And then should we give Damian an opportunity to share his as well? The crowd has voted. Let's go, Otis. You're up first, big dog. All right, well, you want me to come back to you, Otis? We'll go to Damian first.
I got you. Somebody was about to run
Okay,
into me.
networking.
Authenticity. Like, I want people to know how authentic I am. People say the word all the time, but you see it through the actions, and just knowing that I'm a walking bag, that knowing you can come to me and we can work something out. Anybody that's ever worked with me knows that I truly want to help, whether you stood or you stayed. I see it on a daily basis. I won't name any names, but so many people on the team, came to me first starting out. Now they're fucking just thriving in so many ways I couldn't even believe or I could see back then. So I just want people to know that, I'm that person that you can always come to and you can confide in, and we'll get it done, whether it's a pep talk, whether it's wanting to partner on a deal, whether it's just a word of encouragement. I just want people to know that, authenticity and love is real with me. So that's what I want to be known for.
I love it. Yeah. When you say authenticity, I definitely, connect with that. And you've been a person that has selfishly helped other people out and raised your hand to help or held your hand out to pull other people up. So I see this at a very high level. Let's go deep. Let's have you answer this question. Then we're going to shift gears to the next section of this. What do you want to be known for? Let's roll.
I want to be known for my contributions. I put work in a lot of different fields and a lot of different people, but whether it's my kids, real estate, music, whatever, writing, everything that I'm contributing to, I want to be known by those things because they're going to outlast me. So
Mm, I love it. And there's the voice right there in the background, right? That's right, man. Like the contributions that you're giving to your community, the food bank, to your own family, to the music community, man. I feel that at a very, very high level. And listen, you guys, if you don't have an answer to this right now, it is okay, right? Because not all of us have a personal brand just yet. You have a personality, you have an identity, but maybe you haven't got to the point now where that has started to really, really be reflected in your business and it's all starting to make sense and your values and all that. So, like I said, don't rush it. Especially if you're new on this call, write these things down and come back to that. This is going to be something that you're constantly going to be looking at and evaluating and really putting some conscious thought into it as you grow in business. So Nicole, I'll come back to you in a couple minutes. I want to shift gears in the conversation. What problems do you solve better than anyone else? Okay. I want you guys to sit with this one for a second because this one is powerful. What problems do you solve better than anyone else? Are you the expert negotiator? Have you built relationships with people that you're able to leverage that communication and those relationships to get the most transparent information? Do you solve a problem of explaining, really, really tough HOA docs? We're really, really hard to understand material facts. Like, what problem do you solve better than everyone else? If you are a lender on the call, what problem do you solve? If you're someone that's growing on this call, which you all are solving a problem. And listen, each of you have a proven process. If you have taken somebody from start to finish and they've gotten their home or they've sold their home through your efforts, then guess what? You have a proven process. So you have to ask yourself, what problem do you solve better than anyone else? I'm gonna go to Christina, and anyone else wants to take that question, feel free to throw their hand up and let's get in the mix. Let's go, Christina.
Hey, good morning, guys. I don't want to say better than anyone else, but what I feel confident in is definitely like loan restructuring. A lot of times when another lender drops the ball, restructuring like an SOS, oh my gosh, like I just did one with Joellen. The client had gone to USAA, she had her insurance with them, just figured, oh, go with my mortgage with them, it'll work. And they had gone MIA on them, and sure enough, the clients no way how they had it structured was going to work. But I feel like when you ask the right questions to a client and really start digging deep, I'm not scared to ask those uncomfortable questions to find out, what other income, is there a cosigner? Sometimes people feel like it's too invasive, but I think when you come from a place of, I want to help you, I'm going to ask these questions so we can lay all the cards out on the table so that I can see what I can do to make this work. And so I get a lot of SOSs like that, but I truly enjoy being able to talk to these clients where they're in this panic and you're just like, all right, I sit there and I'll close my, I'm like, what, there's got to be something. I'll go for a walk and I'll kind of start looking at everything and my mind just keeps going. And I'm like, boom, okay, this is how we're going to fix this. So I think it's more of like, I get a very much gratification of knowing like, I know I can do this. And it's almost like you just have to have this type of confidence where you can get it done, because if not, they're going to go somewhere else to try to figure it out. So you have to figure this out, Christina. So I feel like that's what I feel really confident in, is doing those loan restructures. Even with the team, with the money store, like we'll be like, hey, like I can't figure this out. What can we, and we'll brainstorm together and we'll do that together where you're going to find something. And then that you learn so much. And I'm sure you guys in real estate too, like you'll learn so much just talking to people on your team where you'll be like, oh, dang, I never thought of that, and it's just like, boom, and then getting it done.
Yeah, what a really, really cool way to define what problem you solve better than, and yes, say anyone else. It's okay. You give yourself all the glory that it deserves. But yeah, like being able to, in the midst of a fire, in the midst of turmoil, like being able to have the poise and say, you know what, let me oscillate through the different thoughts. Let me talk to my team, and then let's figure out a solution. It's really, really powerful. I love that. Let's go, Stephanie, then we'll go Glenn, then we'll shift gears in the conversation. Let's go, Steph.
Hello. So the problems that I think I solve better than anyone else is the hard files. Similar to Christina, if there's a way to do something, I'm gonna figure it out.
Mm.
You better believe it. I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I get so many calls with hard files. People have been turned down. And, Otis and I just have one right now, right? Another lender couldn't do it. He sent it my way. I took a look at it, racked my brain a little bit, and I figured out a way to get it done. But I'm really confident. I think that's my superpower. Like, my old boss used to say, if you want it done, give it to Steph, because I'm going to
Mm.
figure that shit out. No matter how long it takes, if there is a way to get it done, I'm gonna figure it out, because I'm gonna dig deep into whatever guidelines, whatever I need to do, and I'm gonna figure it out. And if I can't figure out a way to do it, there's not a way to do it.
Okay, so you guys, I absolutely love this. And Toot said, yes, you will. I love this. You guys, when she said these 5 words, I'm going to figure it out, the first time she said that, what did her physiology say about her when she said those words? Tell anybody, take themselves. I don't know if you noticed it, but I saw it. Take yourself off me. I don't hear from you. What did her physiology, her body
She
language,
said it with her chest.
said it with her and she said it with her eyes. It was almost like, I'm gonna figure it out with this sass in my eyes. Like, give it to me, I got it. Right? Like, so much confidence in that. And that confidence means there's continuity in the messaging, right? The words match how she feels, and she demonstrated that right now, and you guys all witnessed that. So Stephanie, absolutely love that. I'm gonna figure it out. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Let's go Glenn Riggs, and then Otis. I think you had a contribution on Stephanie, so let's go Glenn and then Otis, and we're gonna shift gears. Let's go, big dog.
So for me, I turn chaos into clarity. Right? No matter what it is, no matter where it is, people running around going crazy, I am really good about just bringing them back, centering them, getting them back to ground level. And sometimes that's all you need is just that. I'll speak in non-Mac terms, Control Alt Delete, right? You got to go back to the beginning and let's just start, power down and restart. So
Man, is this in any of your is this written or illustrated anywhere, this turning chaos into clarity?
it isn't yet.
Okay, cool. So, and yeah, I love that you say this, because I'm hearing things like that is a really good sign off on your email strategy or in your email signature. This is a really good thing to talk about when you are going through the life of an escrow, right? When you go to the life of an escrow and you're explaining what's going to happen for the next 30 days, there's things that are happening on the loan side, there's things that are happening on the property side. And there's also things that are happening on the title side. They're searching for liens, encumbrances, titles, clouds, all these things, right? And now here you are turning all of that chaos of the roadmap or the life of an escrow, and you're giving them clarity of what's going to happen next. My TC is going to do this, going to communicate, going to be a liaison. We're going to do a verification of property. I'm making it so simple for them. So, man, that line right there, turning chaos into clarity, absolutely love that. You should be able to define that and talk about that even more, because that's a huge value add to your consumers. Well said, Glenn. Let's go, Otis. What do you got for us, big dog?
I want to know. I actually he's smiling so hard. Contribution, I think, is negotiating. I truly think that I'm one of the best negotiators when it comes down to getting the deal done. You kind of got to put all the pieces together, from the reports to, checking equity in the house to seeing the last time it sold, all those little things that matter when you're negotiating, trying to get stuff back. Um, I love the current market we're in, but I seem to be able to keep this type of market and getting credits. Now, is it going to be the 30, 40? Nah, but on the average, I want to say over the last 2.5, maybe 3 years, I've been doing at least 10 to 15,000 per client. So at the end of the day, I know it's not something that I'm just getting lucky on. And then seeing it too with the like-minded partners that I work with, Jacob, and even like Steph, like she just told you, like at the end of the day, I had this uncomfortable conversation, but it's not really uncomfortable because it comes down to business. Like I know that we tend to, take the business and make it personal and, call ourselves friends. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's about your bag. Like I can't get a client and tell Stephanie this is what you need to do if she can't do it, and vice versa. Maybe it's a different fit, different agent, different lender that has different bunches of packages that helps clients. So at the end of the day, the willingness to be able to negotiate and have pretty much really know. A lot of people think I'm really emotional, but it's really not. I'm really all business. It's just people can't see it that way. So I really take an emotion out of it, but it's just really holding a hard line, because that's how you got to do. Me and Jacob had a situation where we figured some things out, but it's like, having the communication, and at the end of the day, knowing the art of war, like knowing when you're winning and knowing when you're not winning. I think that's the true beginning of knowing how to be a master at negotiating.
Man, well said. I appreciate that. Listen, you guys, life is a negotiation. Everything is a negotiation. Parenting is a negotiation. When you're talking with your spouse, there's everything is a negotiation. And on that vein, if you guys are free, come to Oakland next week on Tuesday. Our in-person session is going to be all about the art of negotiating. This is something that I've been in since I was 17 years old, been in any form of, or been in every single form of sales, communication, and negotiating. So we're going to dive deep into that conversation in person next week. Just a quick plug on that, but let's continue moving forward. So you guys, when we look at this, what's the one emotional experience people get when they are working with you? You see, what we understand at a very high level, on a very conscious level, is that for us, this is a transaction. And listen, if you're somebody like Vanessa on the call, Otis, Glenn, who's been doing this for a while, you guys have put a lot of people in a contract and you've helped a lot of people buy homes. You see how we feel about that. We might have a connection to our consumer. We might feel for them. We love them. They're our people. But at the end of the day, it is still a process for us. And it is a transaction that we're going to do multiple times with multiple families and help serve multiple times. But the point here is that what is the emotional experience people have when they work with you? Did they feel a sense of poise? Did they feel a sense of ease? Did they feel that you were that person that helped to mitigate all of the fear that they had? You see, what we don't do enough of is we don't address the emotional roller coaster that our people are on. We know that they're thinking these things. We know that they're feeling these things. But the good realtors are the ones that are empathetic and say, you know what, Tom, I understand exactly how you feel, what you're going through. And here's some emotions that you're probably going to be going through over the course of the next couple of weeks. I'm here for you. I'm here for support. If you need anything, call me. I'm sending you something in the mail. Relax, whatever it is. But you guys have to ask yourself, what is that emotional experience people have when they are working with you? Are you scattered? Are you unorganized? Are you frantic? Are you putting people in a position to feel at ease, to feel comfortable, to feel relaxed, to feel like you got them throughout this entire storm? Does that make sense, everybody? So I want you to come back to that. I want you to ask yourself, what emotional experience do people get when they're working with you? And I want you to ask yourself right now, what is your key differentiator? When you think about yourself in business right now, we've kind of unpacked that, my ability to negotiate. No, I am going to give more energy than anybody else around you. My 50% will smoke people's 100%. I will come to you with more passion, energy, excitement than everybody else. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to tell you the things that you may not want to hear, but it's important that I tell you exactly what you want to hear, or excuse me, not what you want to hear, what you need to hear throughout this transaction. Like, I need you guys to be very clear on what differentiates you from everybody else out there. Because at the end of the day, a consumer could go and shop right now and look at a bunch of faces, but you have to be clear on what is your key differentiator, what makes you stand out in the market. It could be your market, it could be your approach, it could be the way that you explain information, it could be your negotiation skills, it could be your relationship building skills, how you build trust, whatever it is, you guys, you have to be clear on that. And now, not every consumer is going to ask you, but there are going to be consumers that say, why should we choose you versus choosing Tom that we just met with 2 hours ago from Compass? Go. And if you can't spit some fire and it doesn't come out naturally and your physiology doesn't match your confidence, they're going to see on principles and say, this is what my
Elias, you're frozen for me. It looks like everyone else is good.
Tell us, frozen.
Yeah, it's over. Gotta get it back.
Hey, random, Glenn, just tell them how you turn emotion into how you make your customers feel emotionally.
Yeah,
Take over,
so
Glenn.
Take
see,
out
that's
the
great.
cartridge and blow it and put it back
Chaos
in.
into clarity. Chaos into clarity.
Yeah, right. So, like, I guess to continue, I just became the host. So, to continue with this, we're just talking about, or Elias was talking about how your emotion, how you come across emotionally and how you manage that with your clients. Is there anyone that wants, Otis, your hand is up. So you want to talk about your emotion, or is that from your last speak?
It was from the last one.
Sorry, guys. I think that was a Zoom thing because everything on Zoom just crashed for me. So sorry about that. I'm back, Glenn. Thank you for standing in. Michael Swanson, what do you got for us, big dog?
I was just gonna say, I think a unique thing that I bring to clients is I can relate to everyone, and I think I didn't realize kind of how unique that was. What happened? Oh shit! You good? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, Michael.
We hear you.
We can. Okay.
Keep
Okay.
going. Keep
So
going.
so yeah, so I can relate to anyone. So whether it's the guy selling drugs on the corner or the CEO at a Fortune 500 company, I feel like I can get to you, I can relate with you, and I can get you to trust me in the transaction. So I
And
think
how does
that's
that make them feel? So when you have that level of relation, how does that make them feel?
I think secure. Secure, and know that I'm gonna be the guy to take care of business for them.
I love that. Yeah, definitely. Right. When you can relate to people on that level, it makes them feel like they've got a place where they belong. Right. That's one of our Maslow's hierarchy of needs, giving me a place where I belong.
I love this. And Glenn, I'm going to have you just continue to flow. Let's go to Ashley. I'm trying to connect to a different Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I feel like I have that same superpower. Like I've lived on the streets, right? I've lived in my car, but I've also managed a bank where I've talked to people with millions of dollars in their bank account. So like if I come and talk to somebody who is struggling and maybe they're living in their car, like I could talk to them in a certain way. But if someone is super analytical and they're an engineer and they've got millions of dollars in their account where someone else might freeze up and be like, oh my gosh, this person, like I will not freeze up. I know exactly how to talk to that person too. And I do think that that's a superpower because people are just people. And when you talk to enough of them, you realize that us in this industry, we have a lot more information than any of those people. And once we kind of realize that, I think it becomes a superpower because then we can just add value whoever we're talking to.
God, I absolutely love this. Glenn, thank you very much. I switched to my hotspot. If it gets a little choppy again, just do exactly what you did. I appreciate you, my man.
Yeah. Can I make one more comment? Just
please.
For both Ashley and Michael. It's interesting that when we talked about all the other topics, we were very specific about repeating what Elias said. When we talked about feelings, Ashley and Michael both talked about it being a superpower. So, right, when we talk about that emotional side of things, it's a complete different view on how we handle that and deal with that. It becomes a superpower. It's no longer just a skill or an ability.
You guys, and remember this, you've heard it time and time again. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. Until that you truly know that you care about them, their family, their future, that you could have all the stats and all the figures. But if you haven't connected with them and they don't know that you truly, truly care, none of that really matters. And so that's the emotional value. And so you guys, let's talk about your values and your integration of these values. I'm going to pull this up here. I have a good question for you guys. I want you to ask yourself this question. What are your top 3 values? And listen, if this is kind of like sparking thoughts, good. You don't have to have all the answers right now, but what I want you to do is I want you to sit with this. What are your top 3 values? And more importantly, when you start to identify what those values are, you should have 3 to 5, no more than that. How do your daily actions reflect those values? Okay? How do your daily values reflect those, or excuse me, daily actions reflect those values? You see, you could say all day long that you are this, or you're this, you're this, and then you pull back the curtain, you look at your actions, and those two don't align. People are going to see that. Oh, my value is discipline. When was the last time you fucking went to the gym? When was the last time you prospected? Don't tell me that discipline is your thing and you lack discipline in your daily actions. So, what are your values? 3 to 5 values. And how do your daily actions reflect those values? And let's go a little bit further on this. Let me let Kelly in. When someone experiences your brand, how do they feel those values? You see, you go into offices and you see the values printed on the wall. and there's like the definitions behind those, and that's all good and well if people can recite that. You see, I wrote the values for our company a long, long time ago, but nobody could recite our values. And so what we landed on was be you but fast. You see, that's our value. And how do you experience it? You experience because we have created an environment where you could be free to be whoever the heck you are. We represent inclusion. We represent expression at the highest form. We represent you expressing your intrinsic qualities that make you an amazing human being. You see, that's how you guys as agents experience our value. And so you have to ask yourself that same question. What are my values? But more importantly, how are people going to experience those values? Yeah, you have integrity. Wonderful. Doesn't everybody? Oh, I'm honest. Cool. Shouldn't you? You have a fiduciary to be honest. More importantly is how are people going to experience those values? Make sense, everybody? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. All right, cool. Let's keep cruising on, you guys. Let's talk about this visual identity. And the visual identity, I'm going to give you guys some exercises here, some ways to really think about this. And I think this is a cool way to have this conversation. If your brand were a color, what color would it be and why? And I want you to think about that. If your brand was a color, what color would it be and why? And I want you guys to share with me. And maybe you already have one. Maybe that's why you have that brand, that color. And so let's go Mama-san. I want to hear from you. If your brand was a color, what color would it be and why? Take yourself off of mute.
I don't know how to use this phone. There. I would say the color red. And a lot of my branding, I do use red, kind of like beef, but fast. But it was something that stands out, something that's bold, something that you see, that's visible, because that's kind of how I come in, feeling or want to show myself, I guess.
All right. So do you believe that's who you are? You're this bold. You're this really, really powerful woman. Is that how you see? Is that how people are going to experience that? Is that what you're hoping for?
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
All right.
That's
Cool.
Yes, is to feel. Yeah.
Impact. I love this. And then when you interact with your clients, do you feel that they're experiencing that?
Oh, absolutely. I feel when, I'm working with my clients, they feel secure and they feel strong after the, like, hey, I got through this, this was a hard transaction, but we got through this, and they felt strong after. They felt empowered. I don't know, these words and these colors kind of come to mind. So that's what I'm hoping it.
Okay.
And also with my branding too, like House of Mama-san, a lot of my branding is with the color red, and the name also. We were talking about branding and how we want to, build our brands. And so House of Mama-san, actually House of Mama-san was my company name. I was a fashion designer and stylist for over 24 years, since 1999. And House of Mama-san was my business name. Now moving over to real estate, it just so happened to kind of work together, and I kept that brand. And now folks are like, a lot of folks at the office are like, what? They call me Mama stuff, but a lot of people don't even know my name. But creating a brand, creating colors, it's really important to create your marketing and your branding.
I love this. You guys, so what I want to do is I curated a list for you guys. So I'm going to share a couple things with you just for some visual aid here. When you're thinking about your colors and when you're thinking about who you are and how you want your brand to be represented. And so there's a psychology behind all of the colors and all of the brands. And when you think about red, I'm glad we talked about that. Think about some of these iconic brands. Obviously, Coca-Cola, one of the most identifiable brands in the United States of America, as well as in the world. But think about that classic red and think about that font. We're going to talk about that font in a second. When you think about yellow, that represents intellect, joy, energy. Think about companies like McDonald's, Ferrari, what an iconic logo that is in the color. When you think about blue, there's always been a statement since I was first in sales when I was like 18 years old. They said you could always trust the man in blue. Blue represents trust, intelligence, loyalty, and you can see some brands on here. When you think about emotion, that is represented by the color green. Freshness, growth, safety. I have Keep It Moving as a green color because I believe that I am a very emotional leader. And so that is part of the whole philosophy, but you guys can see some examples here. You also have this color emotion guide. And as you guys can see, you can see the optimism, friendly, excitement, like Mama-san was just talking about in her bold. creative, that imaginative, that wise, that wisdom, that trust, the dependable. Once again, back to the green, back to the blue, and the balance, which is calm. It's kind of a neutral. If you see on there, you can see brands like Apple, like Honda, very, very neutral. And so what's cool about this is that when you start to unpack this and you look at the brand psychology, you'll start to look at different colors and say, you know what, is that representing who I am? Is that an alignment with who I am? And does that make sense for my brand and really, really what I'm creating? And so what I did is I just created a list for you guys here. And in this list, you guys will see a bunch of different sources here. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put this in the chat down below. Paste here. Cool. All right, cool. I don't know. Can you see if that works there? Or maybe this file here works. Say again.
I don't know if it was just
Did
me.
somebody say something?
Chopping up. We were chopping up, but we weren't able to. I wasn't able to clearly hear what you were saying.
And that link doesn't work, Elias.
All right, so sorry, you guys. What about the
There it
last
is.
one put in there?
PDF works.
The
Yeah,
PDF.
PDF.
All right, cool. So in this PDF, what I've done is I've just curated a list to where you guys can go to these different sites, these different places to really identify what these different color palettes are. And what I want you to do is I just want you to do some homework. It's really, really important that you're looking at your brand. You're looking as you're building the brand. What does that look like in the visual representation? You see, I've leaned into this green, white, and black. That is my company logo for Keep It Moving. For our company for Fast Real Estate, we have the red, we have the white, and we have the black. Now, as we evolve as a company, right now we're looking at ways to make that different, to use that in different iterations, to use that red line with your coloring, right? If Mama San wants to use a different iteration of red or pink or purple, whatever it is, we want to make sure that the brand stays really fresh. And if you're using the brand, you can use your own colors on it, not manipulate the Fast Real Estate, but change the colors based on your style and how you want to be represented. Does that make sense, everybody? So what's cool about this is that you guys can go down that rabbit hole and really do your evaluations and really start to look and say, you know what is my brand color? What does that look like? What does that feel like? And then as we go a little bit further, let's look at fonts. What fonts and styles represent your vibe? Are you edgy? Are you elegant? Are you modern? Are you classic? Are you playful? Are you a minimalist? Are you subtle? Like, what does that actually look like in regards to your style? And what I want you to do is I want you to start analyzing and looking at different styles of fonts. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll pull this up on the screen and I'll just drop these links down below so you guys can go to the drawing board and just start doing some work. So there's quite a few different sites out there, but I have a couple that are curated. So let me just drop this down here. Boom, bam. All right, cool. So here's a list, and this is called Verisolve. This is kind of really breaking down the rule of color, what it represents, how it's identifiable, so on and so forth. So read this article when you guys have a second. Also, here's another site, and this site will give you an opportunity to just look at different styles and then play around with these different styles and say, you know what, how would that be represented in my brand and how I want to be represented? And so I'll put that down below. You could also come to companies like this. It's called Pangram, I don't know, Pangram, I don't know. But what you can do is you can look at this and be like, okay, I want to go here and I want to choose one of these. I want to look at these different fonts. I want something that is subtle, sleek, something that reeks elegance, whatever it is. And then what you can do is you can start to see all these different fonts and you could start playing around with it. You could start saying, I like this one. Let me see this one. Okay, cool. I like this. Like for our company, everything that we use is railway heavy. So you have to look at this and be like, okay, as I'm building something out, what looks best for me? As you guys can see, I don't like to use any lowercase letters. It's all part of my branding. I want to use all capitalized. So I want you guys to start thinking about this. And so I'll drop these different sites down below. That way you guys, as you're building and as you guys are looking at creating your font, thank you, Judith, for putting that down below. I want you guys to be able to have these different places to go to. Here's also another one. This is Adobe Fonts. What's cool about this one is that you guys could look through some of these. Let's go here. You just say, okay, what works for me? Like, I like some of this stuff, but I'm just gonna just go down the rabbit hole. You guys do some research, have some fun with it. Like, what does this represent? How does this feel to me? I don't know. I don't like that one, so on and so forth. But you guys, you can go down the path of luxury and say, okay, what does my luxury design look like? How do I want to be represented? What is the feel? I like this font here that says Amandine. I really like that font. I always have been a fan of that. But the more that you go into this and you research and you look at it, you start to look at your own stuff and be like, man, I need a refresh. Or I'm going to land on that because that really speaks about my identity and the visual effects that I want to have in my branding and what I want the consumers to experience. And so I think this is a really fun exercise because it allows you to just really unpack all the different options out there for font when you're thinking about your writing, your illustration, all these things, you guys. So we've helped tons of people in our environment develop their logo and develop their style and their values and their, how they want to be viewed by their consumers. And I can help you guys with this, but I just want to give you some groundwork to have you do some research. Does that make sense, you guys? Are these things helpful that I'm providing you? All right, cool. So I'm always finding ways to, really, elevate what we're providing here, you guys here in coaching. And then what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to be able to be very clear on the next couple of these. I want you to be able to describe your brand, and I'm going to give you guys a week to do this. So the next time we come together, so let's do it next Friday. I want you guys, actually, no, not next Friday. We'll do it Wednesday. Friday's mom's surgery, you guys. I'm out of pocket. I'm not available all day. Describe your brand. I want you to get on the mic and have a Shark Tank moment with me. What I want you to do is I want you to describe your brand to everybody. And I want to ask the audience, is that the way that you receive Princess's brand? Is that how you guys see the brand already? Right? And if not, then she knows, okay, cool. This is how I want my brand to be felt and heard. And this is what I want people to understand about what I'm offering to the world. But if there's not congruency, then she is going to be aware enough to say, you know what? Wow, I didn't know people looked at it that way. I'll make some unnecessary adjustments. So describe your brand. And also be able to, we've talked a little bit about this, be able to identify what your superpower is. These are things that help you truly build a brand that people can connect with. Anytime people talk to you, you already are speaking in your superpower. You are sharing with them what your clear differentiator is, and this is all wrapped in your brand. And then what is your personal mission statement? As you can see through this exercise, I've taken you guys through a series of different things to make you think, to make you feel. And what I want you guys to do is come up with that personal mission statement. What is that? What does that sound like? You want to be the great emancipator of the dream. You want to create generational wealth for families, yours and others, whatever that is. I want you to be able to have your own personal mission statement. Does that make sense, everybody? And we're going to come back to this because this is something we are going to do over and over and over. And I want to give a huge shout out to Roma for helping me update my slides. I like this, Roma. Thank you. I think they look so fresh and so nice and so clean. So thank you. And then I'm going to go here. All right, guys, that was my last slide. So listen, it's a lot to unpack in 1 hour, but my thoughts behind this is to provoke thought within you. I want you to start thinking about things. I want you to connect to your messaging, connect to your imagery, connect how the people are experiencing all of this amazing value that you offer the world. And so I'm going to pause there, you guys, and I want to go around the room. I want to get some key thoughts and some key takeaways. You guys have the worksheet. You guys have the different links. You guys go to the drawing board and, just do some research on your own. So let's go around the room, get some key thoughts and some takeaways from people on the call today. Let's go over to Princess and we'll go to Tanisha. Princess, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll, big dog.
It's funny because I actually was thinking about some of these things. I dabble in it and then I kind of go away from it and then I come back to it. And so this is just me coming back to it. And so just diving into it, and thank you for the resources that you provided, and I'll be playing with those later on today.
Awesome, Princess. I love it. Tanisha, let's roll. What do you got for us? One key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll.
Really focusing on my brand and kind of really bringing it out a little bit more and being my natural self.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you're thinking this way. If there's anything I can do to support you further, please let me know. Ashley Jorovich, let's go to you. One key thought, one key takeaway, and then we'll go over to Gary Archer.
I love the fonts. That's just something visually. I don't have a lot of consistency with my social media. So I saved all of the websites that you put in there, and I'm gonna go through and figure out like what vibe certain fonts give off, and then really drill down my brand. So thank you for that.
I have a challenge for everybody on this call. I would challenge you to create a video today and just tell people like, hey, you guys, I'm in the process of really developing my brand or taking it to the next level or doing a brand refresh. And I'm curious to know from you, what do you experience from my brand? If you had to give my brand a name or things that you've experienced from my brand, what is that? And if you can't put that down in the chat below, I want to learn from you guys. And also, I want to reflect. So hook a girl up, hook a guy up. I promise you, you're going to get back some really good things. Christina, I view you as this. Christina, your brand is this. Gary, your brand is this. Stephanie, your brand is this. I promise you, that's how people are viewing you. So it's going to be a really, really good insight and it's going to help you reflect. It's a challenge because you got to be open to the feedback, but I promise you, you'll learn some really good stuff by doing that exercise. Let's go over to Gary Archer. One key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll, big dog.
I mean, I just want to say that it's very like the brand thing's so important. You know, try to relate it to your reputation, right? We all act like we want a reputation, but the reality is we can't control the way people view us. It's our day-to-day actions that's going to create our reputation. It's what you do every day is what people are going to know you for, right? So that's going to be your brand. The colors, like you could have a brand with no colors, no fonts, no nothing, just a voice, just an energy. But by adding these little pieces creates advocacy where people cannot let it go, sticks in their mind. Seeing is believing. And then when you can show up and actually be who you say, it's unstoppable. So appreciate you. Like always, Elias, it just helps you drill down and focus to where to put your energy, right? Man,
That's
get it
right.
together. Thank you.
That's right. You guys, I'm so glad that you said this. If I was not keeping it moving towards my dreams, goals, and vision, do you think that would be apparent? Would you guys see through that? Like if I wasn't moving forward and keeping it moving towards my dreams, goals, and visions, which is not my tagline, that is my brand tenet, you guys would see that, but like Elias isn't moving forward. That makes no sense because now it's just words. You see, people have to understand how they experience those values. You right? This is you guys experiencing the value and my vision for this company and for coaching. So you guys really impact this conversation. It is important that this is not just a one-off conversation. I've been putting a lot of thought into this, you guys. And so I want you guys to build on this. We're also going to do workshops on this. We're going to draw, we're going to write, we're going to put ourselves in groups. And so be on the lookout for that. So you guys have an amazing day. And before we leave, really quick, really quick, I got 1 minute with you guys. I want to make sure that I drop this down below. All right. So you guys, we are here. The time has come. The day has come. And we are now ready for our next intensity starting August 5th. Now, some of you brave souls have already signed up. And now what I want to do is I'm going to drop this down in the chat below. Now, if you are a team member, remember, you are not charged to be a part of intensity. If you are a non-team member, there is a growth investment involved with this. And I promise you, your money will be well spent and the habits and the skills that you form from this group will echo far past the completion of the program. So intensity signups are open right now. Team members, no expense to you. Non-team members, there's a charge and it's well worth it. So I want to make sure that you guys have that. It is down in the chat below. Share with a friend, share with a homie. Let's pack the room. We're going to go full tilt. I got some exciting new things that we're going to do this round. So Mandy has completed every single intensity with 0 strikes. Now look around the stream here. I know that Brandy, I know that Lisa, I know that Princess, I know that Jessica Segura Hernandez, I know Chris. A lot of you have been in the fire before. So if you're ready to walk in the fire and you're ready to elevate your life, business, health, and relationships, I promise you, Intensity is the program for you. That is my plug. Have an amazing day, you guys. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make today a day that truly matters. Peace.